Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofict one, AJ. Happy Friday, August 8th, 2025. Hope you're having a great Friday, ready to have a great weekend. We've got a lot to break down today. We got WNBA Dildo Gate going on, ESPN, NFL Network, and WWE deals going down. ESPN has been very busy this week. We've got a lot of news coming out of NFL training camps and a lot of stuff to look forward to in fantasy, along with some news coming out in the NBA. But before we go any further, do just want to take a moment, shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow button. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But let's go ahead and jump into it. It's taken the internet by storm. It's taken the sports world by storm, and it's got a lot going on with it. Over the last couple of days, there has been guys that have been throwing different colored pleasure devices onto the court of WNBA games. And the first time it happened, it was funny. It was funny. You get a good chuckle out of it. Second time, like, okay, there might be something a little bit more to this. What's going on? But okay, still a little funny. Third time, it's like, whoa. Let's hold up. And then there was another one too that didn't make it to the court. And so that was like, whoa, what is going on here? And now a purple one being introduced into this saga. There has been one arrest made regarding this for indecent exposure, unlawful something and other, but getting arrested and probably not coming back to a WNBA game anytime soon. That is for sure. A little bit more digging per reports is coming out. It does appear that there is a group of essentially crypto bros that are behind the whole dildo gate. And they are doing it to promote their coin, which is like dildo coin, green dildo coin, something or another like that. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And they chose the WNBA, which I think is fascinating. Now, there was a sighting of one as well on an MLB game. And so they are just going across the sports world and doing this stuff, which is absolutely insane. I mean, this day and age, nothing really gets past me, but this, it's insane, man. It's just absolutely insane that they're going so far to buy tickets, but not only buy tickets, but buy tickets within throwing distance of the court. And the WNBA has gotten, more popular. And so those tickets can't be, the cheapest thing in the world. They're not the most expensive, but they're not the cheapest. And they're spending that money to viral market their shitcoin. It's unbelievable. I almost respect the hustle. I'm not gonna lie. I do respect the hustle a little bit and the belief in themselves to make a shitcoin go viral. I have not. We should probably check the price on that. What is the? Let me see if I can get this pulled up. I don't know why I didn't check on it. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Is this one it? No. Okay. I mean, yeah, this one's it. Here, I'll pull it up. I've definitely seen worse shit coins, but here it is for you. So, they are seeing a boost since it started, obviously. Because, yeah, August 6th. Yep, here we go. Yeah, so when did they start it? What's all? When did it drop? July 27th. Okay. And hey, shout out to them. It's kind of working. It's kind of working. We'll see how much longer this goes and how much longer it lasts. WNBA increasing security. No, the internet had a fun time with the no bag policy for tonight's WNBA games. I don't know if that was real news or not, but Twitter I believe it was real because Twitter had a day with that. Those memes were absolutely hilarious. I'm going to get it in, but there's a no bag policy. that was some good shit. It's wild though. It is wild, and honestly, I don't know what I was expecting when the shitcoin news came out. I was feeling initially it felt like a joke, and then it kept happening. Before the shitcoin news came out, it almost like I was kind of leaning towards, okay, maybe there's some type of point behind it. Maybe it's some activist group doing something, because we've seen them do weirder shit than this. And so that's kind of where my head went. But no, to find out it's just a bunch of crypto bros throwing some dildos around, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I know the WNBA is taking a lot of precautions and upping security and asking fans to leave. One fan posted a video of getting kicked out down here in Arizona, actually, at the Footprint Center, or whatever it's called now. I don't think it's the Footprint Center anymore, but getting kicked out because he made a video prior at a sex store, making the joke like, oh, no, I'm just on my way to the Phoenix Mercury game. Funny. I'll give that guy that. That's funny. But WNBA doesn't really have a funny bone, if you haven't noticed recently. And I will say, though, it's getting people to watch. I hate to say it. It's getting people to watch. It's getting people to talk about the league. And it's don't get me wrong, it's not the reason you want eyes on it. But, there's no such thing as bad PR, as old PR firms used to say. And that's kind of where it's at here. Betting volume on what color it will be on the nights has more handle than the actual game or any props or anything like that. And so it, in a really, kind of messed up way, it's really good for the league. And I do appreciate that, the league really hasn't come out and made a comment about it, or has, just done a sweeping ban of anything. I like how they've handled it. And it's the first time in the last couple of years the WNBA hasn't put their own foot in their mouth or stepped in it. And so I respect this every time it goes viral. And so that's good for the league at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And it's going to get people to tune in. And God forbid they like what they see on the court. But they probably won't, because y'all haven't fixed your officiating yet. And that's a bigger issue right now than green sex toys being thrown onto your courts. I can't believe I'm having this conversation. It's insane. It's mind blowing. But hey, they're committed. They're committed to the pick. McCormick in the chat. How you doing, brother? Happy Friday, man. Wild stuff out of the WNBA per usual. And it's interesting. I haven't seen any clips of First Take, really taking a stand on this. So I wonder why. Dude, we're doing great today. I re-looked at the fantasy teams I drafted last night, and I'm still very hyped on the fantasy teams I drafted last night. Might do another fantasy draft because I feel so good about those on the back end of this show, but we'll see how I feel about that towards the end. But yeah, WNBA Dildo Gate going wild, brother. And it doesn't seem like there's an end to it. So I assume Noah and I will check in on this on Monday. I mean, we got a full slate of WNBA this weekend, and we got playoffs coming around. So, oh man, it's kind of great though. It really is. It's kind of good for the league. And I hate to say that, but it is kind of good for the league. But cool. As I mentioned earlier, ESPN's been busy. ESPN has been very busy this week. They have their new, direct-to-consumer app coming out, which they promise is going to be better than ESPN Plus, which I don't know why they don't just make ESPN Plus better, but they're just going to make the ESPN app again. It's dumb and it's confusing and they want more money, and I get that. And I do hate to say it, but I mean, it really is going to, I think, kind of depend on what is what you get with the membership and how deep that membership really goes. ESPN works out a deal with NFL to acquire the NFL Network and Red Zone and the, just the entity of Red Zone. We'll get to what that means in a moment. Not only that, it includes, no more Monday Night Football double headers, so ESPN doesn't have to split viewership like that anymore. They do get more additional games, so those games that would be on the NFL Network. Think about, overseas games, those random doubleheader Thursday night games, etc., etc. those Friday night games overseas. You know what I mean? They'll get those games as well because they have the NFL Network. They also it's a lot for ESPN. ESPN gets a lot of content and a lot of rights when it comes to the NFL Network and the Red Zone. And the Red Zone is, I think, the most exciting part in this whole thing. This has the potential to be the most exciting thing coming into ESPN. And I've been here, guys. I've been here. I watched them ruin Marvel. I watched them ruin Star Wars. I've watched them. I understand any hesitations, but it's so good already. And I think we need to get over the fact that we don't want ads on Red Zone, because there is going to be ads on Red Zone. I promise you that. That's just going to be death taxes, ads on Red Zone. I mean, that's why they tested it. I promise you, that's why they tested it, to see if it would actually work and if people would still tune in. And I'm sorry, guys, but y'all still tuned in. Yeah, it's going to cause an uproar on Twitter, but really, y'all aren't going to watch Red Zone anymore with Scott Hansen? I'm sorry, it's just one of those things. And so expect that to come. But the big thing that was mentioned, and I think will take place, is the fact that they own all IP related to Red Zone, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. And I really don't think they will change what is going on right now. I wouldn't worry about Stephen A. Smith going on. I wouldn't worry about McAfee doing it, or any of those guys, really. I think Scott Hansen has got that job locked down. Now, how much ESPN and that contract working out, we'll see what goes on with that. But besides the NFL side of the ESPN deal, the Red Zone is what I'm excited about. Why am I excited about it? And everyone said it already. College football. That's the number one thing. College football. Not only college football, but the ESPN has experimented with a Red Zone type show with the NHL in the past couple of years that has done good numbers and has gotten good viewership. So why wouldn't they want to continue to incorporate something like that? But college football is the one I see them going into first and doing first, and I don't see how that can be bad. I truly think that'll change how everyone watches college football. There are so many games going on, so many important games going on at all times, and YouTube TV doing the quad box definitely helps out. But being able to track every game on a Red Zone type structure that's how I want to spend my Saturday for 10 hours. That sounds incredible. Go from game day to Red Zone. That'd be epic. So I like that. I like it potentially for the NHL. And, AJ, how would that work for the NHL? There is a lot of games going on in the NHL. So why wouldn't they have a Red Zone nightly? You know what I mean? And it allows the NHL to be more creative with their scheduling and have more games go off that way. I think anything that Red Zone touches, I think, is going to drive up interest and people will tune in. Because Red Zone shows the exciting stuff, and that people at the end of the day, that's what they want to see. They want to see what's going on that's exciting. They want to see the highlights. They want to see the big hit. They want to see the touchdown, the goal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so being able to do a whip around like that, I think it can only grow interest in any sports entity that it touches. So shout out to ESPN, shout out to NFL, and they also get a deal done with the WWE. They'll be hosting all their premium live events, their pay-per-view events, as they were once called. So think WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, TLC, Money in the Bank, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of that will be available on ESPN and on their new direct-to-consumer app starting in 2026. So look at Royal Rumble to more than likely be the first of the premium live events that will be on ESPN. And ESPN really wants to roll this out and give it all the bells and whistles and be your one-stop shop for anything and everything sports. And so we'll see if the worldwide leader can kind of reclaim that. I mean, they still are the worldwide leader. And, most of the hate that goes towards ESPN, is because their app absolutely sucks. And, it's First Take, it's their shows, it's their analysts they have on, et cetera, et cetera. And so I do appreciate ESPN trying to revamp that one part of their product, but we do really need to take a look at the overarching issue that is ESPN Sports Talk. It's rough. It's rough. And I mean, Rich Eisen's going to be on there too to bring his audience in and to bring, the best comparison I've ever heard is, Rich Eisen is Pat McAfee for, guys that are about to retire. Yeah, pretty much. So we'll see how that goes. They're apparently going on at the same times too. So that's interesting to say the least, but we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens with that. But shout out to the ESPN making a lot of moves. We'll see. Anytime ESPN touches anything, it gets hurt. I get it. I get it, McCormick. I really do. But how do I want to explain this? Like, they talk about when companies get in trouble, you know what I mean? Financially, there are companies that are too big to fail. Disney is a company that's too big to fail. Red Zone is an IP and is a concept that is not only beloved, but can be replicated and developed into other stuff. And now, again, yes, we will deal with ads. That is just going to be a part of it. But at the end of the day, Red Zone is going to be fine. Red Zone's going to be fine. NFL Network, who the fuck knows what's going to happen with that? I mean, really, if you, I don't really know people that watch NFL Network for more than Good Morning Football, Game Day, and when they have their random preseason games and, games throughout the season. So really, there's nothing really to F up there with NFL Network. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens with. Oh, that makes a lot more sense now. The Rich Eisen news, because he does Game Day and he's a big part of their draft coverage and everything for NFL Network. And so already go ahead and sign him so you're not paying. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense now. But there's just not a lot to F up. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it was key, was them getting the entirety of NFL Network so that they could get the supporting staff behind Red Zone. And because, I mean, it's not going to change this year. This has got to go through multiple approvals, governments, and et cetera, because the backside of it is NFL gets a 10% stake in ESPN. And, ESPN is supposed to be technically a sports news organization. So it sounds like a little bit of a conflict of interest. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I don't know. There's just nothing to F up on the NFL Network side. Red Zone will take a step back because of the ads, but it's still going to be 8 hours of some commercial-free football. It's going to be great. And then college football. And then give me the NHL. And then give me college basketball, bro. Give me college basketball Red Zone. That's what I want. NBA can do whatever the hell they want. I don't care. But, NFL. I mean, it's going wild, brother. We got preseason going on. We're going to see our first look at Shedeur Sanders in an NFL uniform tonight, as he will be going for the Browns against the Panthers. And so Shedeur will be getting his first live reps in an NFL jersey. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to watch. I'm fascinated. I'm interested. It's a story. They put ads in. They put in ads in last year, McCormick. And I have a hunch. I have a hell of a hunch that they're going to put him in this year too. So I don't know, man. It sucks. Don't get me wrong, but what, you going to stop watching Red Zone? I'm probably not. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Shedeur Sanders. He's going to be. We'll see how he does. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. I think being drafted how low he was. Any other quarterback gets drafted in the 5th round. It's okay. Let's just see what the kid's got. Let's see if he can do anything and if he can be a solid backup for the next couple of years. And then maybe he'll develop into something after we're done with this guy. But, at least be a good quarterback or a good trade piece later. Shedeur has a real shot at being the guy here. And again, any other 5th round quarterback, it doesn't matter. It's Shedeur Sanders. It's, the Mel Kiper of yelling down everyone's throat during the draft. It's the name. It's his jersey being retired before he graduated or before he was even drafted. It's all of that coming into this preseason game. And oh my God, is the media going to torch him no matter what? No matter what. And I mean, yeah, you're going to get first takes and Mel Kiper coming out saying, see, I told you that he was going to be the best quarterback in this draft. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, so just expect that no matter how Shedeur plays, you're going to be hearing from Mel. You're going to be hearing from Stephen A. and those guys about him. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm not overly optimistic. I'm just interested. I'm interested to see how this guy can throw pigskin around and if he can actually handle, I hate to say it, but handle an NFL offense. Handle being coached by someone who's not his dad. And I respect what we've been seeing, what's been posted about training camp, him showing up early, staying late, working extra. Like, I'll give respect where respect is due. It appears that he has that mentality and really wants to be that starting quarterback. And did we get to see that at Colorado? Maybe not, because his dad was there. We didn't get the full package maybe, but his antics going into the draft and his dad's antics and everything definitely put a sour taste in NFL teams' mouth. And I think that's why he fell so far in this draft. But not only that, but it felt like a lot of stat padding in the fourth quarter. It just did. It did with Travis Hunter. They were down by so much. They had the second stringers in, and they just go bombs on fourth quarter. And so we will see. We will see what happens with Shedeur without that safety blanket, without everything. And so good luck to the kid. Good luck to the kid. We'll see how he does. But I'm excited for that. I will not lie. I'm excited for that. But let me tell you something the players are not excited about. And that is that smelling salts have been banned from the NFL. Well, not banned from the NFL. NFL teams are no longer allowed to provide smelling salts on the sideline. So, good question. Will he ever be Deion? My opinion, no. Well, he has no chance to be Deion because I don't see Shedeur Sanders going to play baseball anytime soon. So, no. But, I mean, we'll see. I'm interested to see how he plays. I'm very interested. And do I think he has a chance at starting this season? No. I do think Joe Flacco will be the guy going into week 1 as the starter. That is where I'm at on that. And I think that's just the way you got to go, which is fine. Elite, Mr. Elite, Joe Flacco. Still a dog. But if anything, gives Shedeur live reps, lets the coaches see where he's at. And I'm fascinated to see where he's at. I'm very fascinated. But anyway, back to smelling salts. NFL teams are no longer allowed to provide smelling salts on the sidelines. The players are allowed to bring and buy their own, leading to some players going ahead and already making purchases. Who was it? Oh, I have that somewhere. Where was it? Oh, it was Marlon Humphreys who spent $1,000 on smelling salts from Amazon getting ready for the season. So shout out to him getting ready for it. But this being, it's in the most simplest way to explain this, it's insurance. That's it's insurance. It's a liability thing because, smelling salts wake you up. And how perfect would it be to wake you up but ammonia and smelling salts and everything like that. And so they're saying that it's a precaution for them so they can't say, well, the team was giving them to me, so I didn't know I had a concussion, et cetera, et cetera. It's to close a little loophole there for future lawsuits and everything like that. Nothing too crazy I'd worry about, but it is something. It is something. I know George Kittle was pissed about it, so shout out to Kittle. Who's going to win more games, the Cowboys or the Browns? That's a great question. Let me pull up schedules. Because, don't get me wrong. No one has faith in the Cowboys. And I get why no one has faith in the Cowboys. I don't have faith in the Cowboys. I think it's a poorly constructed team with a lot of shiny toys. Very expensive shiny toys. Maybe Micah Parsons too. We'll see how that goes. That is an absolute mess, by the way. But I do got to respect Jerry. I do got to respect Jerry because not only did he get himself into this mess, but he doubled downs every single time. And I respect the hell out of that. Like, he is a man, like, if you give him, you give him you give him an 18 and the dealer is showing 18, he's going to hit. Oh, he's going to hit. Hit me. Oh no, he'll double down actually. That's what I was trying to make that analogy. I was almost there and then I got sidetracked by myself. But anyway, looking at the Dallas Cowboys schedule, I mean, first of all, it's very nice of the NFL to let them attend a banner ceremony since they don't really know what that's like. So shout out to the NFL for being considerate of other teams and other fan bases being able to witness banner ceremonies when others aren't. And I mean, do I have a lot of room to speak? No, I'm a Cardinals fan, but I don't come out here every year saying we're winning the Super Bowl. So do with that information what you will. Anyway, but let me pull it up. Sorry, let me pull it up for you guys. Oh, nope, wrong tab. There we go. So they're right. They're going to lose against Philly week 1. So they're 1-0. They're 0-1 there. They'll probably beat the New York Giants 2-0. Probably beat the Bears. 2-1. Going to lose to Green Bay 2-2. Going to be 4-2 going through Carolina. 4-3 with Washington. 4-4 through Denver. 4-5 with Arizona. Get a nice bye week in week 10. 4-5. I'll give them 5-5 against the Raiders. I'm hyped on the Raiders, but last night kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not going to lie. So I'll go 5-5 with the Raiders. And then 5-6. I don't think they split with Philly. I don't think it matters where they play. They're just a completely different ball club. 5-7 with Kansas City. 5-8 with Detroit. I'll give them the win against Minnesota. I'm not that hype on JJ and what I've been seeing. So what am I at? 6-9. Yeah, I'm at 6-9. And then 6-10. No, I'm at 5-9. No, 6-8. Sorry, 6-8. 6-8 leaving Minnesota. There we go. I'm doing math now. 6-8 with Minnesota. 6-9 with the Chargers. 6-10 with Washington. So 7-10. I got them finishing 7-10. Let's see what the Brownies are gonna do. All right. So they got to beat 7-10. Cincinnati week 1. They're going to start off 0-1. Baltimore week 2, 0-3. Green Bay 0-4. Detroit 0-5. Minnesota 1-5. Pittsburgh 1-6. Miami 2-6. We'll get to Miami in a moment. At New England 2-7. No. 1-7 at New England. That's a tough one. I think New England's going to do a lot better this year. So I got 1-7, right? Yeah. Math. Yeah, 2-7 with New York. 2-8 with Baltimore. I'll give them 3-8 with Las Vegas. 3-9 with San Fran. 4-9 with Tennessee. 5-9 with Chicago. 5-10. Yeah. I'm gonna say the Cowboys barely have a better season. And I mean, it's a small margin. It's like a game or two, maybe. I don't have a lot of faith in this Browns team. And not only is the quarterback situation going to be a mess because you got 4 quarterbacks, so you really got 5 quarterbacks, so you got no quarterbacks. Even with roster cuts and everything like that, you're still going to have so many moving pieces in there with the quarterback room. And then what happens? God forbid Deshaun Watson comes in with a doctor's note that says, hey, I'm good to play, guys. What happens then? Then you got a very crowded quarterback room. You got... a lot of ego in there. You got one guy actually being paid starting quarterback money. Is he going to ride the bench for a rookie? Is he going to ride the bench for Joe Flacco? Are the Browns really going to let him ride the bench with that? It's a whole mess, man. It's a whole mess. But I will say, I think the only team that's a little bit more of a mess than the Browns right now is the Miami Dolphins. I mean, listen. we were excited about the Dolphins with the Mike McDaniel's hiring, his kind of quirkiness and everything, getting Tyreek Hill over there, Tua, being bigger, not getting concussions anymore last season. They put up 50 points in a game. I mean, high-powered offense. They got a lot of weapons with no defense whatsoever, and now it seems like they're imploding from the inside out. Tyreek Hill, at the end of last season, pretty much saying he wanted to leave, and Tua coming back to training camp saying, hey, we're still rebuilding that relationship. Now Mike McDaniel's coming out saying, yeah, today's a great day. We're one day closer to death. And now in a joint practice with the Chicago Bears, Mike McDaniel had to break up a fight between not the teams, but between Dolphins players. So even during a joint practice with another team, you're still choosing to fight inward. And not only that, but just a bad practice overall, too, with 3 interceptions. Alexander Mattison with 2 fumbles. Not a pretty look, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It doesn't look like they have a team chemistry or a team culture or they're there for each other. I mean, it doesn't appear that Mike McDaniel is keeping this team together as of right now. And, it's training camp. I want to give them a pass for that. I want to give a pass for the fact that these guys are fighting for their jobs, fighting for their livelihood. Someone else screws up and it makes it look like I can get there, but, especially joint practices. The videos coming out should be fights between 2 teams, not fights between their own team. And so just not a good look for the Dolphins. Not a good look. One thing that appeared not to be a good look, but I'm starting to lean on the fact that it might be a good look and we might be fine. And that is the Matthew Stafford issue going on right now. Matthew Stafford dealing with some back issues and has been told by team doctors we're just going to take it week by week going forward, and we're going to go into the season. So he hasn't really been participating in training camp. We won't be seeing him in any preseason games, but they haven't said he's out. And maybe the Rams learned a little bit from the 49ers last year with Christian McCaffrey, keeping everything really on the DL. But I think Matthew Stafford is going to be fine. I think he's going to be okay going into the season. And more than anything, they're being very precautious about sitting him. Let's not aggravate it. Let's not make this a continuing thing. If we can let it heal or let it heal as much as it will going into the season, let's just do that. And let's not try to push it, make it aggravated. So I think the Rams are poised to have a good season. I think it's going to be a very up and down season, but you got Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, a solid O-line, a defense that's not half bad towards the end of last year. Very young defense, but they learned quickly last year. I think the Rams are going to have a hell of a season. I really do. And if Matthew Stafford especially can stay healthy, they're going to be chilling. But yeah. Last thing I kind of have on my list, a little NBA news coming out today. First off, want to start with the ongoing investigation with Malik Beasley as he does continue to take L's, unfortunately. Malik Beasley, under investigation for the federal gambling probe, was evicted from his high-rise apartment in Detroit on Wednesday, according to court records. When it rains, it pours. Sometimes you can't catch a break, and it sucks. So we'll see what happens with him. It's not looking particularly good, though, I will say. Lastly, coming out of the NBA, Coach Mazzulla for the Celtics has signed to a multi-year extension. Congratulations to him. Since his time with the Celtics, he's 182-64 in the regular season, a 74% winning percentage. That's a weird sentence. And then in playoffs, he's 33-17, 66% win percentage there. That's a weird sentence, but it works for some reason. Has one championship under his belt back in 2024. And it looks like they're going to just keep going. You might as well. It's not broken. Let's keep it working. Let's keep moving forward. Jason Tatum's going to be out. They're looking to keep moving without him. I think the Celtics are still going to be very, very challenging over there in the East. So shout out to the Celtics. Paying the coach that got him there. Not as if the Celtics, are bad or something, but they're not. Sorry. Just confirming beer plans with the boys after. Got this bar down here. It's one of the few bars in Arizona I've been able to find with pull tabs. And so shout out to that bar. And no, I will not be saying the name of the bar, but shout out to that bar. It's awesome. But anyway. I'll do a fantasy draft real quick. I'm feeling the itch. I've only got, 2 teams, not including my family league, so might as well, right? One in Rome. Just join a public league. All right, we got a 3-minute clock on here till the draft room opens, and we will get cooking, baby. And again, felt good about the draft yesterday. One player I'm going to continue to monitor in these drafts I'm doing is Jordan Addison. And I'm more tracking just to see where he's going because he is getting picked up and it's been varied throughout my different mock drafts and actual drafts. So I'm going to keep an eye on where he's been going. It's been anywhere really from like the 8th round to like the 14th, 15th. No, I'm sorry, excuse me, the 13th or 12th round. And I think he is a great pickup in fantasy if you can get him for the sole purpose that it's only a 3-game suspension. You got a long fantasy season ahead of you. If you can get him in a later round and just know that he's not going to be able to be used the next 3 weeks, as long as there's no injury in practice or anything, you're going to be in a real good spot come, when he's available. So we got 2 minutes. Alrighty, we got 1:48 left. Let's see. I've been getting very good draft select places too. I've been 1 and 2. And I did go Saquon both times with the number 1 and it was 1 and 3. I went with Saquon. And so I might diversify here a little bit. But honestly, I would almost prefer to be back in the first round a little bit. Give me like an 8-9 spot so that I can not feel bad about taking Derrick Henry in the first round. And it's not that, I think it's very hard to compare Saquon and Derrick Henry, but, Oh, Road Dog in the chat. How you doing, Bob? Yeah, more draft, more fun, brother. We'll go ahead and we'll do a fantasy draft, and then I'm going to go get a draft beer. Big draft day on Friday. Damn, that's what I should have called it. Draft Friday. And then I should have just brought a keg in here. Well, then it would be Keg Fridays, not Draft Fridays. I'd have to get a kegerator thing. Or would the keg make it Draft Friday? Let me know. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm a little perplexed with that. But I don't need that distraction going into this draft. Got to stay locked in. Stay focused. I'm feeling good, baby. Feeling good. Oh, can I change my team name? I'll go ahead and do that. Alrighty. Draft room's open. Let's get locked in. Where am I drafting at, baby? Give me something good. Wow, I'm number 1 overall again. Alrighty, so we're playing the long game here. I don't know where I want to go. I mean, I feel like I got to go Saquon. AJ, why don't you go Bijan? Atlanta played well to the back half of the season last year, but I don't know, man. Like, yeah, Bijan will pull off those incredible runs and stuff, but I don't know if I'm there. I don't know if I'm there. So I got to figure that out. I in the next 2 minutes. Okay. The downside of Saquon Barkley is the Madden curse, obviously. We've got the Madden curse working against us here. You might be thinking, AJ, why don't you want to go wide receiver? I'm committing to my running back in the first 2-3 round strategy, depending what the board presents me with. And so maybe I go Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't hate the Jahmyr Gibbs pick first overall. I don't think I want to go Derrick Henry here. That just feels too much of a reach, and it is. He might fall to me, or Josh Jacobs might fall to me like last night from what I've been seeing, but I kind of want to change it up and go Jahmyr Gibbs. Just so I have a little diversity, not only, roster to roster, but just in general, and see what happens with that so I can prepare because, my family draft, they're crazy people. Love them. They draft crazy. And yes, I probably will be live streaming my family NFL draft. So stay tuned for that. My wife is joining too, the league this year. And so I'm going to have to help her out a little bit. So might get my wife on the show. So I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs. We're going to roll the dice. I don't hate it. I don't love it. And again, if you are going wide receiver, you're going to Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson, I don't blame you. You're going to get good. You should be getting good production. You should be looking good. That's just not how I want to run my fantasy drafts this year. But I understand where you're coming from if you do, invest a first round pick into one of those guys. But I am comfortable with going Jahmyr Gibbs first overall here. I can't believe I've gotten 2 first round picks in the last 2 days. That means going into the family draft, I'm Moab. I've stopped doing nearly as frequently anymore. But I think she's just being nice. Let me go ahead and let this draft get kicked off with Jahmyr Gibbs, number 1. I promise you Jamar Chase will be off next. Because Steve Smarts is like, whoa, wait a minute, what? You took Jahmyr Gibbs, you didn't take Jamar Chase? What am I doing, man? Who should I take now? Yep, told you. He was like, I could take Saquon, but Jamar Chase is here now. I will say I do kind of enjoy knowing the fact that I probably threw a wrench into everyone's draft plans when I do stuff like that. Which is fine for me. Fine with me. Yeah, Saquon. I like that Saquon pick there. Bijan there. Not bad. And so what? I'm going to be like pick 20. Who knows? Like last night when when we were drafting, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers, Bucky, Trey McBride, all guys that were available around my pick, along with Kyren. And so, I'm really, and I think that I really like my strategy this year of knowing kind of where I want to draft which group and who's available and not coming in like, okay, if this guy goes number 1, I'm going to draft him. But if he this and this, and I'm glad I'm not, stressed to a spreadsheet and just kind of know where I want to draft the groups and who's available and how they've been going this season, in the preseason and training camp. And so I'm liking that. And I know it's a little bit more reactionary, but you also get kind of I feel like more of a sense of the groove of the draft early of, okay, this is where people are going. So maybe I need to move, my tight end group up, or, there's been a lot of running backs off the board early. And we've been seeing that the last, yesterday and today in the drafts, which I find very interesting. I'm not going to lie. Like, the wide receiver position is sexy. And those big name wide receivers like a CD, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua are going to get a lot of looks. They're going to get a lot of targets. But it feels like over the last couple of years, we have seen a shift in the NFL, slowly, but still a shift in the NFL of going more towards, battling in the trenches, winning those winning in the trenches and running the football, getting those hard-nosed plays in there. And that's kind of why I'm drafting the way I am. I've been seeing, we've been seeing that the last couple of years. And you look at the teams that's been winning Super Bowls, they've had strong defenses winning in the trenches, and then a strong run game. And a quarterback that can air it out when the run game is working, So I'm expecting running backs to play a bigger role here. Round 2, Ashton Jeanty does feel like a little bit of a reach. I'm not going to lie. And I know the rankings have him so high, but it does. For me, if he falls to me in the 3rd round, I'm taking him. But there's more proven players in the first 2 rounds that I think are going to provide, the same projections and actually, they can actually hit those as opposed to rolling the dice on a rookie. I'm not saying you shouldn't draft Ashton Jeanty. I'm just saying he's more of a 3rd round, 4th round guy for me. All right, we're going to have back-to-back picks here. So I'll probably go with a 1-2 hit of... Oh, fuck, someone took Derrick Henry. Asshole. If I can go 1-2 punch of Trey McBride, Bucky Irving, I'm going to be a very happy man. And then we'll start going QBs. Alrighty, where are we at? I'm up in 3 picks. Skibbity. Is that like that brain rot younger generation shit? Brian Thomas Jr. Love that pick. I think he's gonna. Jacksonville is such a. They're in such an interesting spot. They paid Trevor Lawrence. They've changed out coaches now. It's at the point he's got to put up or shut up. You know what I mean? And I want Trevor Lawrence to be good. And when Trevor Lawrence came into the league, it was when we first started doing this show. And I said, give Trevor Lawrence 4 to 5 years. Give him 4 to 5 years. I don't think he's going to be good immediately. I think it's going to take 4 to 5 years for him to settle in and actually play well. We're in year 5, year 6. And, I would say year 5 more than anything because I don't really count the Urban Meyer year, if we're going to be honest. Oh, I love the Kenneth Walker pick in the 2nd round. I love that. But, hey, I'll get Trey McBride. I'll get Bucky. I'm feeling it. On the clock. Boom, goes the dynamite, baby. We'll go Trey McBride. And then Bucky Irving. We'll start hitting wide receivers next. But I'm starting to like this team. And then, and I'm fully expected, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels to be gone when they come back around. If I wanted to take him, I would have needed to take him with that, that 3rd round pick. And I personally, I have an issue in my soul of drafting a quarterback before the 5th round. And so I'm not going to do that. With that being said, I probably will take a quarterback in the next round. If I can, I get JSN to drop to me, and then we go with. Oh, is Murray off the board already? Did I miss that? Oh, no, there he is. I'm blind. But, if I can get Kyler Murray, and yes, I do want to go with more of a running quarterback for my starting position. And I know he didn't run a hell of a lot last year, but I think he's going to run more this year. He's commented about it. I think he's going to be dynamic. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I do think he's going to have an MVP caliber season this year. So I am all in on that. Yeah, this draft has been pretty chalky with these guys. which I can't say I'm shocked. Some of these drafts have felt fairly choppy. I think it was the first draft I was in last night that, it felt a little bit more, I hate to say competitive, but the moves, like it seemed like each of the guys had a plan, or each of the drafters had a plan, and they were just going through it. So we'll see what drops. But Drake London, and again, like I get why, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and probably Jaden Daniels are going to get taken third, fourth round. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Ooh, Jalen Hurts drops to me. I would take Jalen Hurts over Kyler. I like that a lot. But no, if I can get JSN, I'd be more happy than securing a quarterback. I'm not going to lie. Because I can wait on Kyler then probably till the 6th. Then even if not, there's still plenty of quarterbacks that will be available in the 6th, 7th round that we can just go ahead and snipe one then. That's probably what I'll end up doing. If I can secure my wide receiver, my top 2 wide receivers here with my 4th, 5th round pick, I'll be happy with that. If I need to pull the trigger on a quarterback, I will. But at this point, the only trigger I'd be really looking to pull on, the only quarterback I'd be willing to pull the trigger on is Jalen. And I mean, those week 1 numbers are going to be so much fun for Jalen. Alrighty, where are we going to go? I will say I've been shocked, and I understand Alvin Kamara is going to get a lot of touches this year. I just think he's not at that same production level to be drafted in the 5th, 6th round. Like, he feels more like a running back to me that if you can grab him in the 8th, 9th, 10th, put him on your bench just in case, like, I think you're in a good spot, but just from what I've been seeing over the last couple of years. All right, this Skibbity guy is taking a long ass time. Alrighty, I'm on the clock. I'm going to rip JSN then. Love that for me. I don't have a tight end yet. I will get a tight end next round. I'm going to go with MHJ. And I got to be honest, I am hyped on Marvin Harris. And like I've said, I'm hyped on the Arizona Cardinals as a whole. Marvin Harrison Jr. has put on a lot of weight this year, and good weight. He looks jacked. He looks bigger. And the training camp videos that have been coming out and the practice videos that have been coming out, like he's been able to go up and get balls, but not only like get the balls, but fight the defender to go up and get that. And he's winning a lot of those fights. And, that was one of the Cardinals have always been good at having a wide receiver like that. It was Larry Fitzgerald. It was D-Hop. And now it should be Marvin Harrison Jr. And so I'm hoping it stays that way, but we'll see. We shall see. Obviously, we need to, but we'll get a taste of that on Saturday when, they've announced the starters are going to play for the Cardinals and the Chiefs. So we'll at least see a first quarter. That's what I'm interested in is Kyler Murray and the Marvin Harrison Jr. connection. I know he's going to be fine with Trey. I know he's going to be fine with James Conner and Trey Benson. I want to see how him and MHJ look going up against that Chiefs defense for sure. I'm not going to lie. That's probably the riskiest pick I've had. Oh, wait. Why am I looking at Skibbidi's roster? What the fuck? I was like, where are my players? Oh, I do. That's why I was confused. I didn't want to draft MHJ if I had Trey McBride. I hate doing that. All right, now I'm upset with myself. That's a rookie mistake in drafting. That's a rookie mistake. Oof. Oh well. All right, we got my wide receiver room figured out. We got my tight end figured out. Probably go finish out with a QB here. Shit. Have Patrick Mahomes or Bake drop to me, please, and thank you. And then I'll fill out my flex. Oh, that's a little bit of a reach. Get T-Mac in there, at least on the roster. Oh, that's a tough one. Because I'll go QB. I'll secure my QB. I think Patrick Mahomes or Baker is going to fall to me. And then I think T-Mac's going to have a big year. I'm not nearly as worried about Bryce Young. I do think I worry about Bryce Young. Yes, they have an easy schedule. I think T-Mac's going to get a lot of looks. And like I said last night, I've seen it with my own two eyeballs that are in my skull right now. He just goes and gets balls. You know, he has that Larry Fitzgerald in him where if a ball's within 10 yards, he's going to go and get it somehow. Whether that's vertical, horizontal, whatever direction you want to talk about. He's that dynamic and that athletic of a wide receiver. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is off the board. Okay. Come on. Give me Bake. Give me T-Mac. That's how I want to end this. That's how I want to get this draft. Bake, T-Mac. If I don't get Bake, I'll probably wait next round to go Justin Fields and get another wideout. Or see what the tight end situation. Because if Sam Laporta's still available at tight end? No, Hawkinson, Kelsey. If I draft Travis Kelsey, do you think a bunch of Swifties will at least follow the channel? Get those numbers up? I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. Let's not get frustrated about Taylor Swift. Football season hasn't even started yet. Because, yeah, I think I can get Tucker Kraft with my next picks. I'd be hyped on that. All right, come on. Let's get it moving. Get it rocking, baby. Alrighty, come on. We're about to be on the clock. Everyone I want is still available. Let's go. Baker, T-Mac, and then Tucker Kraft with the next pick, and I got to find one more guy. I think I might go running back, another running back on the roster. Baker and T-Mac. Thank you. All right, what running backs are going to be available? I'm kind of hyped on Ramondre Stevenson. He had a nice season last year. I've been saying it. I'm hype on Camp Scatterbo. I think he's going to be big for the Giants this year. I think he's going to put up great numbers. Not going to be. He's not. He's a hard runner. I wouldn't expect like Saquon stuff out of him this year, but damn near close. He's going to be solid. All right. Oh, where are we? Where are these people drafting? RJ Harvey, Caleb Johnson. I like Caleb Johnson's upside this year. I like Jameson Williams' upside this year. See who's still available. Ridley, Waddle, Judy, Roma Dunze. I'm staying away from Bears players if you can't tell. Bears players, Jags players, teams that I just don't, that are going to rely on quarterback play and O-line play, I'm just kind of staying away from. Also, partially why I'm staying away from Bengals players. I don't want to deal with, why isn't my guy producing? Well, they don't have an O-line to protect the quarterback, and the quarterback can't get the ball out because he doesn't have an O-line. I don't want to be in that situation, so that's why we're here. Calvin Ridley's off the board. And I understand, like, this is where people start to lose focus and really kind of just, auto draft or go with chalk plays. But this is really where you can start digging and find those guys that mid-season, late in the season are going to make the difference for you, and the difference between, finishing in the loser bracket and competing for a championship. And that's what we're doing over here. We're competing for championships. We're not out here for second place. We're competing for championships. And Larry's Loud team is taking, it's like this fucking group I was playing behind last weekend. Oh my God. I was just playing with my dad, and we were on a small little executive par 3 course. They have a couple par 4 spread out, but there was this foursome in front of us that was just taking so long. And I mean, don't get me, like, they weren't bad or anything. They were just taking their sweet ass time. And they asked us to, on the last, we only played 9. It's hot as shit out here right now. And they asked us on like the last hole if we wanted to play through. And it's like, dude, fine, I guess. We'll play through this last hole. Thank you so much. But I don't know. Anyway, if your group's playing slow, let people play through. It's not going to slow you down. I promise. You won't see that group in front of you again unless a group in front of that group is slow. Alrighty, these guys are taking their sweet ass time. Or they're at work fantasy drafting. Which I do respect that hustle. Exactly, Road Dog. You ain't first, you're last. Shake and bake, baby. I just watched that the other night. My wife's been out of town all week, so I've been going through a lot of the movies that, she'll sit through with me, but doesn't enjoy. And so, yeah, I watched Sicario last night. That's always a great banger. I heard there might be a Sicario 3. Oof, let's go. Might watch Goodfellas tonight, I'm not going to lie. After the football games. Throw some Goodfellas on. Or Casino. I haven't watched Casino in a while. I might be due for Casino. Or honestly, my buddy's got me on Ted Lasso now. It's happened. He's got me on Ted Lasso. So I might finish that up. I'm in season 2 already. I know there's 4 seasons, but my wife gets back around like early afternoon tomorrow, mid-afternoon, late afternoon-ish. Got to figure that out. All right, there we go. David Montgomery, Evan Ingram, Jacoby Meyer. All right, we're only through 8 rounds. My God, these guys are slow. All right, I'm gonna go Tuck. I'm gonna go Ramondre. I'm doing math in my head. Give me a sec. Ramondre and Cam. Tucker Craft will be available in the back end, and then I'll draft another quarterback then too, to kind of just have a good backup QB. I'll go with Love or Goff, depending on who's available. I'm liking this roster, guys. I'm liking this roster a lot. I might be 3 for 3 with banger rosters. My God, we have 5 more rounds. Let's see how long this takes. It's 3:51 here. Ooh, NBA released the Christmas Day schedule. So we'll have, for the NFL, Lions at Vikings, Cowboys at Commanders, Broncos at Chiefs. NBA will be Cavs at Knicks, Spurs at Thunder, Rockets at Lakers, Mavs at Warriors, Timberwolves at Nuggets. Ooh. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Hall of Fame game did like 2 million better numbers than the NBA, any game in the NBA Finals. So even an NFL game where no starters are present is better than the NBA. It's wild, wild work from the NFL. Oh, Lord. See, and this is okay, and we're right around the area where a Jordan Addison pick would be nice. Like I said, it's been anywhere from round 8 to round 12. And I think Jordan Addison is a great guy you can keep on your bench, and just understand that he's going to be out for 3 weeks, but you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. We will see how we can finish here. Finish strong. Alrighty. My goodness, these guys are taking forever. Matthew Golden, I like that pick late. Someone did take Jordan Addison in round 9. I like that. Good morning. Tom Brady, apparently, I forgot his statue reveal thing was today. Quote from him, and during the statue dedication, the statue is not just for Patriots fans. It'll also give Jets fans something to throw their beers at when they leave the stadium, probably in the second quarter. Oof. Put him in a body bag. Put him in a body bag, Brady. Talk your shit, Brady. I love it. I love retired Tom Brady. I really do. And I know most people don't like his, what's it called, commentating and everything like that. I don't mind it. I think he's a hell of a lot better than Romo, and everyone seems to love Romo for some reason. But I don't know. He's talking more shit, or at least we're hearing more of the shit talking than what was on the field. And it's great. I love it. I'm a fan, if you can't tell. Ooh, Khalil Shakir. I like that pick. Ooh, I want to see if I can go 3 for 3 on drafting Tyler Loop as my kicker. I'm really high on Tyler Loop, if you don't know. Also, a former Arizona Wildcat, now playing for, drafted by the Baltimore Ravens to replace Kyle Tucker, who will probably be picked up by the Cleveland Browns after his 10-game suspension. Just, patterns and everything with the Browns. But no, guys, I'm feeling really solid about this roster. I need a defense and a kicker still. We'll work on that later. But Baker, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving, JSN, MHJ, Trey McBride, T-Mac. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see if we can just finish strong here. I'm going to go Tucker Kraft and then Jared Goff. There we go. I like that. Should probably get some wide receivers on the bench. Like a Keon Coleman if he'll fall to me. Jaden Reed if he'll fall to me. Josh Downs if he'll fall to me. Emike Egbuka. If I can get Emike Egbuka on the roster, I'm going to be very excited. Marvin Mims. I wouldn't hate Marvin Mims. All right, we got options. We got solid options still at wide receiver. I like it. I'll get one or I'll probably fill those. I'll probably fill 2 more spots with wide receivers. Go best available for the last bench spot, defense kicker. And then I'll do that classic thing when my kicker's out and I'll just, pick up a kicker that week. And drop someone. I don't know who I'm going to drop, but I'll drop someone. All right. People are going on auto. Thank God. This should go faster now. I put Keenan Allen in my queue. I'm not upset by that. I just didn't know I put him in my queue. I'll probably go Josh Downs and Emike Egbuka if he falls, if both of them fall. I think Emike might fall. I'm not too confident about the other two. You ain't first or last. Thank you, McCormick. What is it? I don't need a little bit. Oh, Lord. Run yourself for your words. Alrighty. Alrighty. Keenan Allen going. Jaden Reed going. Not surprised there. All right. I think Josh Downs and Emike will fall to me. And if they don't, I'll take a flyer on Hayden Higgins. I'm not upset with that. Jaden Higgins, excuse me. I like Raheed Shaheed. I mean, their quarterback room's just a joke. Like, it's a bad punchline. Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler walk into a bar together. I don't know. I don't know a punchline, but it's a bad joke. All right, come on. Gorlami 2. Who do you like for FedEx? I mean, I'm not going to lie. I like the way Batia's playing. It does concern me that he's been in this position before and we've seen what happens and he just kind of falls apart. I know Fleetwood's playing good. I'm not expecting that to stay on. Scotty's, just been quietly climbing like he always does. You know what I mean, brother? It's Scotty, dude. It's Scotty. I mean, it's Scotty. I don't know what you want me to say, brother. I'd maybe look at Patia. Look at Morikawa. He's looked outstanding the first day. But it's Scotty for me until further notice. And I usually place my outright bet Saturday nights, Saturday afternoons. So give me a follow on Twitter. I'll probably drop a pick then, but it's more than likely going to be Scotty. I wouldn't be upset if Morikawa won though. He's had a hell of a year. Same with Akshay. He's really turned it up the last 3-4 weeks. He's just played really bad at the back half tournament. Sundays specifically, he just seems to fall apart. It's unbelievable. Come on, auto pickers. Ah, shit. Auto pick's probably going to take Josh Downs. Someone's just going to go Darnell Mooney. Then auto pick Josh Downs. That sucks. And then all my guys that I wanted are gone. That really sucks. So we'll go Jaden Higgins. Oh, no, we won't. Fuck me. I'll go Rashad Bateman and Romeo Dobbs. That'll be my 1-2 there. And then we'll go kicker, defense, and then we'll see what the last pick of the draft will be. All right, what defenses are available? If I can get the Steelers, I'll take the Steelers. If I can get the Ravens, I'll take the Ravens. Same with the Lions or Patriots. I'm not upset with any of those. Kicker, give me Loop. Where's the Loop? There he is. Hi, Tyler Loop. Welcome to being my kicker yet again. Drop the 5 pick, McCormick. I want to see what you got. Drop it on me, brother. Alrighty. Now we're just waiting. Mostly everyone's on auto pick though, so that's good. I'm just looking for who could possibly take my last roster spot. I wouldn't mind Zach Ertz. Or Jonnu Smith, honestly. I'm a fan of all that. I love that top 20 McCormick. And all those numbers were pretty solid when I was looking at them yesterday. I like that a lot for a T20. That's solid, bro. Good luck. I hope you kill it. Big weekend, big weekend. Alrighty. Suddenly people that were auto are not auto anymore, and they're going to take their sweet ass time. Shout out to those guys. Alrighty, beautiful. Yeah, I'll take Ravens D. No, Tyler Loop. I'm telling you guys, you want a kicker, go Tyler Loop. Go Tyler Loop. He's going to be a guy that most people aren't going to know who the hell he is. They're just going to know he's the Ravens kicker. Promise you, bombs. Kid kicks bombs, and they're accurate bombs. In game, I saw him nail a 53-yarder that had a lot of leg left. That was dead center. When he was warming up pregame, he hit a 65-yarder and almost hit a 70. And he has hit a 70 before. Like, kid can kick. Alrighty, and so last pick. I would hope by now you know McCormick. I've talked about him probably for a total of 3 hours over the last week. No, he's so solid, dude. All right, Zach Ertz or Jonnu Smith? I don't know why, but I feel like Raj is going to be in a lot of check down positions and is going to be checking down to him a lot. That's just where I'm at. Ooh, let me know if it's worth ordering. I've been debating about ordering it or not. Let me know if it's good this year. I think I'm going to go Jonnu. Young quarterbacks and old quarterbacks, they love their tight ends. And even quarterbacks in the middle of the career love their tight ends. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Boswell. Aubrey's going to definitely get a lot of looks for kicks as well. Yeah, you're going to be good there. Tyler Bass for the Bills is also not a bad pick. Cameron Dicker, the kicker for the Chargers, isn't bad. I don't know why someone would willingly draft Cairo Santos for the Chicago Bears. Yes, he will be looking at a lot of field goals, but doesn't always turn out well for Bears kickers now, does it? Shout out to Double Doink. Wasn't that Boswell who double doinked for the Bears? Someone correct me, but I believe that was Boswell. So, McCormick, I am going to kick back on you. I personally will not be taking him because, well, the double doink honks me. Ooh, as we're getting kickoff with Panthers, Browns, and Shador's going to be out there first. Okay, maybe we stay with this after the draft for a minute. All right, last pick of the draft for AJ, Mr. Irrelevant in this league, Jonnu Smith. And boom goes the dynamite. That's a beautiful team. Jahmyr Gibbs, Trey McBride, Bucky Irving, Jackson Smith and Jigba, MHJ, Baker Mayfield, T-Mac, Ramondre Stevenson, Cam Scatterby, Tucker Kraft, Jared Goff, Rashad Bateman, Romeo Dobbs, Ravens D, Tyler Loop, and Jonnu Smith. Beautiful. I'm a fan. All right, we're going to stick with the first drive. We're going to stick here for the first drive. That's fair. Yeah, Boswell can be a dog. All right. First snap in an NFL jersey, preseason game, Shedeur Sanders in shotgun. One in the backfield. You got 3 receivers out, 2 stacked. Oh, and what a handoff from Shedeur. What a handoff from Shedeur Sanders. I mean, the way he took the snap and then just held it out there, just unbelievable stuff from Shedeur Sanders already. Wow. That was impressive. All right, let's see what the second play call is going to be. Lining up in shotgun again. You got 3 receivers to his left now. Bunched up, 1 receiver up top. Got 1 in the backfield to help out. They'll send him in motion. Shedeur with his first pass, and it's a little high, had a little speed on it. In a good window, receiver got a hand on it, but couldn't bring it down. Rough stuff. All right, third down for Shedeur. O-line gave him time there, but pay him the big bucks. You bet, Road Dog. Give the man his monies. All right, same formation, shotgun again. You got doubles on both sides, 1 in the backfield. Shedeur drops back. Wow, completes the pass. Where will they mark it? It looks like they're going to mark it just short, 4th and 1. We'll see if we get the VAR or whatever the hell they're calling it. But, I mean, a good, solid pass to Shedeur. He does look like, he understands it's faster, and he looks like he's trying to, gun that ball in there. And that is the first drive for Shedeur Sanders. They will elect to punt from there. And that's where I'm going to end the show today with Shedeur Sanders' first drive. But hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, over on X, and YouTube. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But with all that being said, have an incredible rest of your Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Maybe I'll be live one time this weekend, do another fantasy draft or two. But thank you all again for listening. Thank you all again for watching. Have a great weekend. Good luck. God bless. See you next time on Degenerate Takes.